everyone, and welcome to today's General Hospital recap. Really exciting day on General Hospital. I have a lot of praise to dish out, so let's get started. But first, if you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe so you don't miss any of our videos or recaps. And if you could also check out the Indiegogo link that is in the description, it would mean a lot to me. And if you can't donate, if you could please pass it along. We only have a few days left to raise money, so I would really appreciate it. Thank you very much. And now let's get right into this. So in the beginning, we see a flashback of Shawn and Jordan in 1995, and they're talking about how her husband, I forget his name, do we know his? Thomas, because TJ's Thomas Jr. Good one, Carly. Went off to volunteer, what was it for? In Haiti for something, and like how she wanted him to stay so, you know, they could build a life together, and her and Shawn are in bed together, and Shawn's like, you have to walk away from this because I can't walk away from you. Really sweet. And then it cuts to present day where Jordan is visiting Scott Baldwin, and she's trying to get him to cut a deal for Shawn. Speaking of Shawn, TJ visits Shawn, and I know TJ is disappointed that his mother is the one who put Shawn in jail, but like either way, she's being framed as the bad guy, because she was the bad guy before when she was a drug dealer, and now she's a bad guy now for being a cop. Like, she can't win, and I don't think that's fair. And when TJ is venting about Jordan and saying how she chose her career over him, and how she didn't care about him, and going on, and I believe was about to call her a bitch or something, Shawn stands up for her and tells him that he shouldn't talk about his mother like that, and that she was doing the best she could. And Shawn sets TJ straight that everything Jordan did, she did to Shawn, and she's done nothing but right by TJ. And Jordan then comes down to visit Shawn, and TJ leaves, and Jordan tells Shawn that she worked out a deal with Scott, and Shawn can go free on probation if he testifies that Sonny ordered the hit, and then Jordan begs Shawn to take the deal and flip on Sonny. And I put this at the end thing, but I'll just tell you now. So, Jordan tells Shawn she should take the deal so that way TJ doesn't lose him, and Shawn's like, you know what, because you abandoned him, blah, 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 blah. And then Jordan shouts at him that he is the real father. He is TJ's actual father, not the belated Thomas. But he is. Dun, dun, dun. And we kind of already knew that because we got the hint earlier. Was it last year? Late last year or early this year, when when Jordan made a face after she told Shawn that, like, her, husband was TJ's father and he wasn't, but now we have confirmation. So will that change Shawn's decision to testify against Sonny? Who knows? Speaking of not really, Julian and Alexis. So Lucas shows up with a bunch of balloons and congratulates Julian about the baby and everything, and then Alexis and Julian have to tell him that the baby has passed away. So Lucas leaves with the balloons, and he says he's going to call Sam and, make the calls around the family. And after Morgan and Kiki, after a morning of them talking and looking at tablets and something about a necklace, I don't really care. Do you care about Morgan and Kiki? If anyone here cares about Morgan and Kiki, I'll put more into it. But they were really just talking about how happy they are that they're back together, and she kept a necklace he gave her, which I think Ava had given him the money for, or just straight up gave him the necklace to give to her. I don't remember. But anyway, Lucas calls Kiki to tell her that the baby died and to come over to Julian's house. And then we cut to Patrick and Sam, I don't know, this is in the beginning, before she knew the baby died, but she basically tells out her reasoning to Patrick for telling Julian that Olivia's baby, he was the father. And, to me, I think it was just such a selfish reason to tell Julian. It's oh, well, Julian didn't get a chance to raise his first two kids, which has nothing to do with Olivia, and totally, wasn't concerned about Olivia's concerns about safety, and totally disregarded Olivia just to focus on Julian. And I don't think what Olivia did was 100% right, because obviously lying about paternity isn't a correct thing to do, but I just think Sam could have had better reasons to do what she did rather than the reason she laid out. But anyway, Sam gets the call that the baby didn't make it. And she blames herself because she badgered Olivia and felt that she made her go into early labor. Whether Patrick says Olivia was having a normal pregnancy with Braxton Hicks, but you never know. You just don't. And I think Patrick and Sam just said I love you to each other for the first time. Have they never said that before? Because they made like a big deal of it. Anyway, at Sloane's hotel, was it Sloane's hotel room? I forget. So Jake shows up, yes it was, and quits, and Sloane tells Jake that Julian tipped him off about Sonny, and Jake keeps insisting that he's quitting even though Sloane tries to reel him back in. And at the end, Sloane goes to Scott Baldwin and tells him to file charges against a Jerome associate. At Anna's place, first I need to throw out big praise to Jeffrey Vincent Paris, I think that's how you pronounce it, who plays Carlos, because he was absolutely amazing today. Like, hands down, I think the best acting we've ever seen from Carlos thus far. Like, he's been great, but like today was absolutely amazing. I was so impressed. So Carlos is a ghost that comes to visit Anna in a dream, and then not so much in a dream anymore. And Sabrina visits Anna and asks her what happened to Carlos. So Sabrina keeps asking questions and asking whether Anna found Carlos, and Anna said yes, and that she didn't get a chance to bring him in. So now she needs to make up a story. So can I just give everyone kudos in that scene, Anna, Sabrina, and Carlos, because if you think about it, like, Sabrina has to pretend not to see Carlos, who's being absolutely amazing, and it's, like, right in Anna's face and everything, and, like, yelling at her, and Anna has to pretend not to hear him, and then, like, Carlos is just going for it, because he's, like, the only one in the scene who can be, like, loud and out there, and it doesn't matter, because technically, you know, one of the characters doesn't see him and the other one has to pretend not to see him. So, I mean, just from an acting standpoint, amazing. So then Anna tells Sabrina that she did catch up with Carlos on the pier and she pulled her gun out and Carlos charged at her and knocked her unconscious, and when she woke up he was gone. And, again, just, I'm sorry, Carlos, Jeffrey Vincent Paris was amazing today. Like, I'm kind of speechless and blown away. I really am. I hope he sticks around as Carlos Ghost for a while and just follows Anna around for, like, the duration. Like, for the next 20 years. That's what I want. That's all I want from General Hospital. So now just some quick hits from the end. The whole Jerome clan and significant others are at Julian Jerome's house to give him support. And Sabrina blames herself for Carlos being in town and for everything Carlos has done to Anna's family. Scott tells Sloane that Jordan is trying to cut a deal for Shawn so they can get Sonny Corinthos. I told you the thing about Jordan and TJ, Shawn's his real father. But interesting, Jake comes to visit Elizabeth, but nobody's home, but he sees a picture of her and Jason turned upside down on her kitchen table, like she was just looking at it and turned it upside down so she could, I don't know. I had to yawn and I was trying to go through that sentence fast. It did not work. But yeah, like she had just been looking at it and now can't bear to look at it, so she turned it upside down. And at the very end, Julian is making this big speech about how he's done with organized crime, and somebody rings the bell, and Lucas answers, and it's Ava? But a brunette with a thicker New York accent. So, what? Okay, so personally, I think it's Ava in disguise, because I think Silas ran the test on Avery, found that she was a match, then kidnapped her, did whatever bone marrow thing he needed to do, cured Ava, and that's what he injected her with, and now Ava is perfectly fine and back and has a wig on because she has to disguise herself, and now she's going to try to reconnect with her family as a different person. That's my theory. What's your theory on this whole Maura West is back and who is she? And that's the woman who plays Ava, if you don't know. So really exciting day, a great Friday. I can't believe it was this time last week that we had our first live show, and now I don't know if they'll ever do a live show again, but those were really fun. Today's been a really fun week on General Hospital, and I can't wait for next week. I'm excited, and I will see you tomorrow. No, I will see you Monday for more General Hospital. I hope you have a great day and an even better Memorial Day weekend. Bye. Or just a great weekend if you're international. Don't have Memorial Day. But in any event, I will see you Monday. Bye.